Tennessee junior pitcher Garrett Stallings. The curveball wasn't a completely foreign concept for Garrett Stallings. He threw one in high school. But then he developed a slider that felt more comfortable, and the deuce went the way of the dodo for a few years. When Stallings looked back on his first 2 seasons at Tennessee, though, the hole in his game stared him straight in the face. "I didn't punch many people out," Stallings said. "I couldn't get that swing and miss when I really needed to." Stallings was productive his first 2 seasons at Tennessee, and he's currently ranked by D1Baseball.com as the No. 119 overall prospect for the 2019 Major League Baseball draft, but he hit a wall late in his sophomore season and lost his weekend rotation spot after getting tagged in 3 consecutive SEC starts. Things had to change, and Stallings knew it. So he changed them. He spent much of this summer's Cape Cod League working on a curveball, and he fought through initial headaches before regaining confidence in the pitch and adding it to his fastball slider changeup repertoire. So far, so good. Very good, actually. Appalachian State had no answers for Stallings in Friday's season opener at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Stallings tossed 7 spectacular innings, allowing only 1 hit and no runs, while striking out a career-high 8 and walking none in the Vols' 6-0 win over the Mountaineers. Tennessee junior center fielder J. Charleston rain fell for most of Friday's opener, but Tennessee's new artificial surface allowed the teams to continue playing, and the wet weather certainly didn't faze Stallings. "Pitching on a Friday night in college is something I've dreamed about since I was a little kid," Stallings said. "Just going out there and knowing I was gonna be a little more amped up, I just used it to my advantage. You try your best to be as calm as you can, but you know you're gonna have juices flowing, especially with it being opening day, but I think I used that well. I just kept punching at him. And Appalachian State never punched back." Stallings quickly got a double play to erase the only hit he allowed, a 1-out single from senior center fielder Riley Smith in the 3rd inning, and faced only 1 more than minimum in his 7 innings. "He showed character, which is why we gave him the ball," second-year Vols coach Tony Vitello said. "I feel like we have several good arms, so the tiebreaker for us in a lot of situations today was experience, and then also just how he goes about his business. He handled it like a champ, and I think that's what he is. He's a champ." Stallings didn't need much help from Tennessee's offense, and he didn't get much for a while. Junior first baseman Luke Lipschitz doubled down the right field line to lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning and later scored on a sacrifice fly from junior center fielder J. Charleston, and that was the game's only offense until the bottom of the 6th. 2 big swings in that bottom of the 6th changed the game. Junior right fielder Justin Ammons led off with a home run off the right center field scoreboard to give the Vols a 2-0 lead, and 2 batters later sophomore left fielder Evan Russell made it 3-0 on a no-doubter through driving rain into the street behind the left field wall and porch seats. The 5'11", 190-pound Russell hit some important home runs for the Vols last season, but the pop he showed on Friday's blast was a head-turner. "You know, the at-bat I had before that was almost identical, but I just missed it," said Russell, a former star at Scotts Hills High School in Lexington, 10. "I was just trying to get to a full count or get to a count where I could get a little more loose, and I did, and he gave me a good pitch, and I just executed," Russell said in a big Southern drawl with a big grin that it can be really good but also really bad to hit a big home run in the season's first game, but he insisted he wasn't going to let it change his mindset. "It can be kind of counterproductive, cause some people can hit a home run in the opener and then try to hit more, but I'm gonna try to keep my approach," he said. "I've got to stay within myself, cause I know I'm not gonna be a 20 home run guy. But I do feel like I can help the team." Tennessee sophomore outfielder Evan Russell. Those big swings accounted for most of the damage against Appalachian State starter Will Sprinkle, who allowed 5 hits and 3 runs, all earned, in 6 solid innings, striking out 2 and walking none. Mountaineers junior Andrew Papp came out of the bullpen in the 7th, and his lone inning was a rough one. Vols junior designated hitter Pete Durkee led off the 7th with a double, and junior shortstop Ricky Martinez followed with a sacrifice bunt executed well enough to become an infield single. Both runners came around to score on sacrifice flies from Lipschitz and freshman second baseman Jake Rucker, and the Vols took a 5-0 lead to the 8th. Sophomore left-hander Redmond Walsh from Knoxville area Alcoa High School and hard-throwing freshman right-hander Chase Silseth capped the shutout with solid 8th and 9th innings on the mound, and the Vols capped the scoring in the 8th on an RBI single from speedy sophomore Al Solari in the first at-bat of the junior college transfer's Tennessee career. "You just talked to Russell for a reason, and Ammo had a nice swing on one, but I don't think we're gonna stand at home plate and wail away and just outslug people," Vitello said. "I think it's gonna be a little bit of what Ricky did, getting a good bunt down, and us running the bases aggressively, 'cause we've got some speed. That'll be a compliment to maybe driving some balls, but pitching and defense are gonna solidify what we expect out of our team every day, and it'll help us give ourselves a chance every game, I feel like," Vitello said. Big junior right-hander from Zackling and Filter, who, like Stallings, is a high-round MLB draft prospect, would get the ball to start Saturday's game too, but that he wasn't sure exactly what he'd do with the lineup. Tennessee's coach said a good offseason in the strength and conditioning program and a good recruiting class have given him and his staff tougher lineup choices to make every day, but he certainly wasn't complaining about that. "If you want to drop an email and give me a recommendation, I'll take it," Vitello said. "As long as it's not a parent, I'll take a recommendation, 'cause now I'm looking to my right during the game, and we've got some pretty good athletes sitting on that bench. I don't mean to make it sound like we're the 27 Yankees, but I think the guy who is behind the guy is a pretty close difference there. I feel like that's the pitching staff's strength, too, is some depth. We need to find ways to give guys opportunities so we don't have very many question marks once SEC play rolls around. That'll be on me and the other coaches to come up with ideas to get some young guys involved. Regardless, this much is certain, Vitello got it right on opening day. This was the day we were looking for, the one you always circle, the first day of the year, and we kind of went out there with a bang," Stallings said. "That was a good way to start.